What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a player rating show here on Back of the Net. Seems like it's been a while, but unfortunately, as much as I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas, we didn't end 2020 with a good result. It was a defeat to Brentford, 2-1, stung by the bees, and yeah, it was a difficult one to take, really. I think Brentford deserve a lot of credit. Very good side, and we were caught out on the day. I felt we'd done enough to get a point out of the game. Having said that, missed some good opportunities, and unfortunately we were punished by Brentford. They're a good side, and they had enough in there to punish us. So real blow. It was a good opportunity for us, especially after the early goal from Dom Solanke. And yeah, with that kind of, I think it was like an 11-day break, thought we'd really kick on from that. We started the game like that, started really on the front foot, which hasn't always been said this season, but unfortunately we seemed to fade away, which was a real blow. Didn't make any changes. Obviously, it's been a long time, so I could understand that from Jason, and had no arguments with the team selection. It was just a difficult one, really frustrating one, because I didn't think we were awful. But as I say, Brentford were pretty good, and we just couldn't quite get a result over the line. I think a point would have been a decent result, but move on to another difficult game on Saturday against Stoke. So really to pick up now, but yeah, tough one, as I say, went unchanged and starting nets with Asmir Begovic, and we still always start a positive, don't we? He's superb again, made some good saves and couldn't really do anything for the goal. And Asmir's arguably been our player of the season so far. Since his return this year, he's been faultless, really. So I'm more than happy with Asmir, and if he just keeps his performance up, he's going to keep us in a lot of games. And I mean, he's going to be the keeper of the season in the Championship without question for me if he keeps this up. So more than happy with Asmir, and I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10, which seems pretty standard for Asmir at the moment, doesn't it? So don't think anyone can really argue with that. As I say, it was kind of unchanged, and we'll start with someone who had the poorest game for us, really, which is Samajo Adam-Smith. And I think he had an awful game. Let's be real about it. He didn't do a lot going forward. He was at fault for both goals, really. He was definitely a part of it anyway. And he just had a really bad game. He was getting involved in things that he didn't need to, with Ivan Toney and a few others, and seemed to affect him. But I think everyone's going a bit over the top. There's a lot. I've seen a lot of things online, a bit knee jerk. People saying how how does he play, and etc. etc. Don't get me wrong. I think Jack Stacey's brilliant. I really want him back, and he will at least be breathing down Smithy's neck when he's back, and that's what we need. Having said that, it was only the start of the month, I believe, that we went to Barnsley and tore them apart in one of our best performances, and Adam Smith was unplayable. He was incredible, particularly that first half. They couldn't cope with him. Everything was through Smithy on that right-hand side, and I think people are quick to forget that. That was only the start of the month. He's not just turned a bad player overnight. He's having a bit of dip in form, and I felt he was really poor. But Smithy's. We asked for kind of loyalty and stuff for players, so let's not turn our back on a couple of under par performances from Smithy. As I say, if Stacey was available, I think he would come in now, and Smithy might take a time out of the starting lineup. So I'm just going to give Smithy a 4. He had one of them games. In terms of centre halves, I thought they'd done okay actually. I thought Cookie, as always, the leader at the back. I thought he was standing out again. He was getting in the way of everything. I thought he was really top drawer, to be fair, and it's a difficult one. It's the first one I had to have a bit of a think, really, for man of the match. Normally a few players come to mind straight away, and it was harder. I'm not going to give it to Cookie, but he would have been. He's one of the only few, like with Asmir and someone I'll come on to later, that's going to get a decent mark, really, because I thought Cookie was pretty good back there and reliable as ever. So I think it's been difficult for him as well. He's had different partners a lot of the time, and he's still been consistent. So 8 for Cookie, no problems with him whatsoever. And in terms of his partner, it has been for a long time, Jack Simpson, since he's come to the side before last night. We hadn't conceded a goal. I don't think he's got probably enough credit for just coming in there seamlessly. I think Chris Mepham is a hell of a centre half, and I think he gets overlooked a lot. And I do think we're missing Meps. I think I like the way he gets the ball and brings the team up the pitch. But having said that, I think Simo's come in and been really good, and I've been really, really happy with Simpson, to be fair. Remember, everyone was very worried when he came into the side and thinking, oh, this could be a bit risky, but fair play to him. I think he's been really good. I thought he was decent last night, probably not quite as good as Cookie a few times on the ball, but I thought he was pretty solid again, and I'm more than happy with Simpson playing. Yeah, if everyone's fit, does he get in my team? Probably not, but that's just because of the quality of players in his position. But Simpson will get in a lot of teams in this league, that's for sure, and I think he's done himself no harm anyway. He's been waiting for his opportunity. He's got his opportunity because of injuries and performed pretty well. So yeah, I'm happy with Simpson. I'm just going to give him a kind of standard 7 actually. Turns out left-sided spot. I mean, he's played centre half, he's played left centre back of a 3, he's played left back, but it's Lloyd Kelly, and it's a weird one really for me because he's someone that there's no doubt is a quality player. He's going to be a quality player for us for years, in my opinion. It can't be easy for him, changing position a lot of the time as well. So you've got to put that into the equation. But I'm yet to be convinced, to put it that way. I think I'm surprised that if everyone was fit and I had to, luckily I don't have to, but I had to pick my 11, I'm not even sure if he'd get in. He might, but it wouldn't be a foregone conclusion, which I'm surprised about. For me personally, if you play a back 4, Meps and Cook are my preferred pairing. And would Lloyd get left back? Maybe, but does Rico offer a bit more balance, a bit more natural at the left back spot? Maybe. Having said that, I saw a stat, Chris Temple put it up with Lloyd as he's our second top assists this season, just behind Brooksy by 1. 4 assists I think it is. Stats speak for themselves in that sense, and a really good assist last night, so he deserves credit for that. I think he would have got lower if it weren't for that, because a lot of the time I think he slows it down a little bit and doesn't bomb on as much as I would like him to, but then he's got them stats of assists, so there's obviously, that backs it up and kind of goes against my argument. So I'm going to continue to watch him closely, really, because I don't know, I'll be interested to hear everyone else's thoughts, because it's just someone that I'm not convinced by yet, and I wonder if it is that expectations after how well he come in after lockdown in the Premier League maybe raised the bar too much. And don't get me wrong, I still never look at the team and think, oh, why is Lloyd playing? I do still think he's a good player, don't get me wrong there, but just feel like he could give us a little bit more sometimes. But interested to know what you guys think. In terms of last night, I didn't think he was great, but then he got the assist, so I'm going to raise him because of the assist, so I'm going to give him a 6. I'm going to give Lloyd Kelly a 6. But yeah, I just still think there's more to come from Lloyd. Be interested to see what you guys think on that. In terms of the midfield, and someone who's been up there with Asmir and Steve Cook in terms of player of the season for me, Lewis Cook. Still genuinely believe he's the best centre midfield player in the league. Was he up to his levels last night? Probably not. I didn't think he was horrendous. He was still a good player. I was still a little bit surprised that he'd come off because of the way he can control the game. Having said that, we wanted to get another man up front and maybe just wanted to keep the physicality and strength in the middle of the park, so I could kind of get it. I probably would have kept him on the pitch personally, because we know what he can give you, especially on the ball. We were always going to have a lot of the ball when we went behind. But yeah, for the standards that Lewis sets, he was a little bit below par, but was still a decent performance from Lewis, and still so key for us. And I just pray that we keep him fit for the majority of the season, because he's going to be so vital for us in there for that promotion push. And yeah, but just not to the standards that he's had recently. But I'm still going to give Lewis a 7, because I still thought he done a decent enough job in there for me. Similarly, really with Jeff, a few times he was a bit sloppy, but I thought on the whole he was pretty decent. Come off late in the game for Gods, probably just to give us a little bit more of an option for a goal. Maybe Gods can pop up now and again, but I'm more than happy with Jeff. I mean, we're still waiting to see what happens if he gets a ban or whatever. Hopefully not, because I think Jeff can often go under the radar because he just does his job so expertly, really, and just goes about his work really well. So yeah, I'm more than happy with Jeff. Once again, another player that we know that bar that he can set. So sometimes it's easy to be critical when he don't quite hit it, a bit like Lewis, but I still felt he was decent. I still think him and Lewis are just a different level in this league, to be honest with you. So yeah, still content with the display, but can get a little bit more. So I'm going to go the same, really, a 7 out of 10 for Jeff. I mentioned earlier that this was one that I felt was difficult in terms of giving a man of the match because no one really stood out. And there's only a few players that I'm going to give 8 out of 10. But the next man, I'm going to give him the man of the match, and that's Phil Billing. And I think a lot of it is because we've been very critical, myself included, of Philip Billing. Didn't know if he wanted to be here, start of the season. Just didn't look like he was anywhere near the team. Sometimes not even getting on the bench. And I almost felt at times, I should give one of the youngsters a go more than Billing. I thought his time was up, really, and be given an opportunity, and he's taken it. He has taken it, and I thought he was good. I thought he was really good last night. I thought he was one of our better players, and yeah, that's really good to see, actually, from him, from a personal point of view. For him to be one of the top players is really good for him. Is showing that he can have a real impact on the team. He needs to start doing that a bit more. There was one opportunity where I felt he probably could have gone for it himself, was a bit too unselfish and squared it in the first half, but he was driving forward well. He's certainly someone who likes a bit more of a licence in a free. I think we were meant to the 2 at the end, which was understandable, but then he doesn't have that impact on the game in a 2. But he was working hard, tracking back, making some good tackles, driving forward with the ball, decent in possession, and I just think, yeah, it would have been easy for me to give Asmir or Steve Cook man of the match, to be honest, because they would just done their job well. But I think it's about time Billing gets a bit of praise there. I think we're quick to jump on people, and like I say, myself included, wasn't sure about Billing, especially with the quality we have available. But now I'm quite happy to see him on the team sheet, and really pleased for him, actually, and credit to him for kind of knuckling down and doing his job and making him almost hard to drop now, you know. Got people like Sam Surridge and Josh King knocking on the door wanting to get in there, and kind of people think if they would have come in, Billing would be the one to drop out, but he's making it difficult. And I think the fact that he is so much better in a free is making it tough as well. So yeah, as much as it wasn't easy to give a man of the match, and could have gave it to Begovic, could have gave it to Cook, I just think Billing deserves a bit of praise, really. We're quick to criticise Billing. He's coming to the side, made himself hard to be left out now, and yeah, I think he deserves that credit, really, and he's been working hard and doing good things. So yeah, happy with Billing, deserves a bit of praise. So I'm going to give him my man of the match and just going to give him an 8 out of 10. Let's move on to more of the attacking players. We'll start with Junior Stanislas. Difficult one. I think he's always part of stuff I was saying during the game. When we do good things, good little attacking plays, he's always involved, but then he goes missing for too long for me. So yeah, it wasn't a great display. He was involved in the goal, but overall I think we can get more out of Junior. I still rate him, and he's still, he's providing good things for us. Just really involved in the goal as well, but too hot and cold for me. And we know what we can get from Junior, so I'm only going to give him a 6 because I think he's a lot better than what he showed. I thought he was off colour for the majority last night. Similarly, really, with the other attacking player on that other side, David Brooks, one of the best players in the league. And I just don't think in the last couple he's brought that to the forefront, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, he still links things well, he's still a quality player, but we know what we can get from him. He should be grabbing games by the scruff of the neck and scoring goals, grabbing assists, and really getting us over the line in them sort of games. And once again, a little bit off it, but he's played a lot of football as well. It'll be interesting to see if he gets taken out the firing line a little bit. What's key is that I felt it was the right sub, but we're taking David Brooks off when we need a goal. That's an odd one, but I did feel it was the right decision. He's just not quite hitting them levels, but I'm sure he'll be back to his best soon enough. But yeah, I'm going to give Brooksy a 6 as well. In terms of the goal machine, man that leads the line and scored again. Dom Solanke had a really good chance after less than a minute, I think, and he was unlucky. The keeper got a good stop on it, and then it was cleared off the line. But Dom's leading the line really well. We just got to keep him fit because he's top player and he's doing everything really well. And like I say, took his goal well. Real poacher's finish, funnily, from someone who's not a goal scorer apparently. He's doing all right at the moment, and yeah, we keep providing him. I think he'll put the ball in the net. He's playing with a lot more confidence. I said that he could have scored again. It's a difficult one. I'm going to give him a 7. I think that's fair for Dom, but chuffed that he got on the score sheet again, and if he can just keep popping up with goals kind of every other game, something like that, that's going to be top for us, I think. Not going to go too mad on the subs, to be honest with you. They didn't really have an impact on the game. Felt that they were the right ones at the time. Felt a little bit for Surridge that King was chosen to come on ahead of him. Not sure about that. In terms of the gaffer, Jason, I'm just going to give. I think his team selection was right. Couldn't argue with that. Subs, kind of as expected, but I thought Lewis probably should have stayed on. I even would have maybe taken off Jeff, to keep Lewis on to keep control of the game, but can't argue with it too much. But we did lose the game, so we're just going to go for a 6 because we lost the football match at the end of the day. But on the whole, it'll be interesting to see what we do going into Stoke. I think Stoke's going to be one of them games, isn't it? Stoke is going to be a Rotherham type, Middlesbrough type, where we didn't win either of them, but we didn't lose them either. Felt we fought hard in both of them games. Having said that, we couldn't quite do enough to get over the line. I think they'll come with a game plan. They're an older team. They've got a lot of kind of players that have played in the Premier League and maybe coming towards the latter stage of their career, and they'll be what's the word? They'll be shrewd. They'll be switched on. They'll come with a game plan. They'll have nasty tactics and try and break the play up and make it really difficult for us. And they've got a bit of quality in there as well, and they're high up in the league for a reason. So I think they were the last team to beat Brentford as well. So yeah, it'll be a really tough one, and it'll be interesting to see what we do. Interested to see what people think as well in terms of what changes you make. I'd be tempted to get Sam Surridge in. I think our best performance, arguably, of the season was away at Barnsley, and he led the line, got man of the match. Hasn't started since. Maybe because of the games that we've had, but I think this is a game that cries out for him. Get someone closer to Dom, and a bit of an old school centre forward who can rough him up a little bit and give as good as he can get. I think run the channels for us, mate. Be a real nuisance. I think, yeah, I'd like to see that. I wouldn't really want to take Billing out though. He's been doing quite well, so it's going to be interesting. I'd almost be tempted to go into some sort of diamond in midfield and maybe take out Junior and Brooksy and kind of play with Lewis kind of in front of the back four, trying to get hold of the ball and starting attacks. Have Lerma and Billing in there and maybe Gosling as well, just for this type of game, and kind of go with that diamond, and then have Dom and Surridge up top, and maybe I'd probably go Smithy, and we haven't, obviously Stacey's not going to be fit. I'd probably have Diego maybe on the left hand side and let them bomb on a little bit for the width, but I'm not sure really. I think however we play, I'll trust whatever team we put out that will have too much for Stoke, hopefully. I think if we had got something last night, I'd probably take a draw out of this one. It's going to be a difficult place to go. But I wouldn't take a draw now if you offered me. It wouldn't be a bad result, I don't think, in the grand scheme of things. I think at the end of the season, we could look back on a draw away at Stoke and think that was pretty good. Having said that, I think we've got enough quality to win the game. I hope the likes of Meps and Stacey not too far away, and in particular on our Danjuma. Just felt last night at times, I thought if we could have an option like Arnie to come off the bench with that bit of magic, it would be very helpful. But yeah, be a tough game. But let's hope we can start the year in the right way. It was a shame to end it like that. It's been a difficult year. Obviously, putting football to the side, it's been a mad year, and it's not ending anytime soon at the moment, but let's hope it goes quicker than expected, and we're all in different tiers and stuff now and can't go to the football, and hopefully football continues for us to at least watch on the telly. But yeah, it's been a difficult year, and in terms on the pitch as well, we lost our manager, we got relegated, and it's been a difficult one. So I hope everyone has a good new year and things like that. I just want everyone to know that my DMs are open on Twitter at TomJordan21. Part of the Talking Cherries as well over on Twitter. Great bunch of guys there, and just keep talking, try and keep positive, and just know that always chuck me a DM if you want to chat about anything. I know it's been a difficult one, and yeah, more restrictions in place, so people can't get out as much as they would like, see family and friends and things like that. So it's really difficult putting football to one side even, but let's use football as that positive, regardless of not being able to go. I think on behalf of everyone watching this, I'd just like to thank Sam and everyone at the back of the net for the content, really keeping AFC Bournemouth fans and that close together and keeping good content going. And in terms of that for me, I mean, this year I've managed to speak to the manager, Jason Tindall. I spoke to Steve Fletcher. I spoke to Tommy Elphick, Matt Ritchie, Brett Pittman. So it's been amazing. So I want to thank Sam back in the net for that. And keeping us all close together, and it's keeping us going, really. The positives like that, and football could do that. So let's keep smiling, let's keep positive, and let's hope start the year well in terms of on the pitch as well. And hopefully it won't be too long till we can get back in there and all enjoy a bit of a promotion party together, potentially. That's what we're going to hope for. But I do wish you all a happy new year, and let's hope we get back to some sort of normality soon. But big love for all the feedback and all the positive comments. Really does mean a lot, and hopefully more content to come, and hopefully we can get back into stadiums and back to a bit more normality before too long. But happy new year to you all. Big love. Chuck me some comments on terms of the game and what you want to see for Saturday in the comments below. But big love. Happy new year. Up cherries.